Hi everyone, and welcome to the chapter 10 of this video, that is the web development bootcamp. And in this video I'm going to be talking about CSS alignment. I'm going to be talking about the CSS position and layout, and also the pseudo classes. And if you're able to follow me from the part 1 to this part 10, I say very big congratulations to you. You've really tried. And this is going to be our last video on CSS, and we're going to proceed to make our first project, okay, in CSS, which is going to be a bit advanced to the previous one we did, okay. I remain Ogudi Molumde Oladekon, the founder of Microsoft Technologies. All right, so let us get started. In the last class, we did so many things, and let's quickly take a look at that. Open your folder, and the folder of this project is on the desktop. And if this is your first time of watching this video, you can check the link, the description section for the previous links. You understand? This is the part 10, so that you can get it better. All right, let's go to the folder My Site, and let's click on it. And this is where we stop actually. The simple block, that's what we're working on. Okay, let's open it on our browser to see where we actually stop. And okay, fine. Let's close this guy. Yeah, let's expand this guy, right? So this is what we were able to do in the last class. We were able to talk about the padding, the margin, and the border. So we also able to style the form. We created the form and we were able to style it. You understand? At least we were able to create a beautiful contact form or wherever. Okay. All right. Let's get started. Let's go to today's video. Go to your VS Studio, and you know how to get your files open, right? Just go to File, and you click on Folder. Then you select the folder is on your desktop. That's where mine is actually. Then you click on my site. This is the folder. Then you select it, and it's going to get open like this. Okay. All right. So this is what we're going to do today. Now, in the last class, we were able to create a div with a class of container. Okay. And don't forget. Okay, fine. Let's do something here. Let's go back to this div and let's do something inside this div. Let us create another div with a class of box. Okay. Yeah. Inside this class of box, I want to have h1 tag. I'll just write web design there, web design. And inside this h1 again, inside this box div, I want to have a paragraph. I want to have a paragraph. So I'm just going to give lorem of 20. Yeah, I think that's fine. Then that's cool. Let's save it. Now let's go back to our page and refresh. Now you go back to it. Now this is what we just created, right? No, we created a div with a class of container. Inside the div, we created another div again with a class of box. And inside that div, we have what h1 tag, and we also have a paragraph. Now the reason why this guy is having a purple background is because we already created a style for the container class before. Like this is a class of container, and whatever is having that class, we take the styling, because this what's it called? This content is also having a background of this purple, and because this has a class of container. If I go back to this code now and check my style.css, and let's check what we have for the container. Is there any styling for the container class? Let's check it out. Where do we have it? It should be here now, right? Container class. Where is it? Yeah, this is where, right? We set the width to be 80%, the margin to be auto, and the background color to be what? To be dark char, right? That's the color, and that's why. And the thing is that if we don't want that, we can as well go back and take this guy out of the container class by doing something like this. Don't let us give it a container class. Let's just create a normal div. You understand? Just leave it like that, okay? And you go like this. You see what's going to happen now. Let's go to our browser. Oh, why is my browser doing like this? I don't know why. Why is it doing like this? Let's minimize. Okay, fine, I'm here. All right. So can you now see now that it's not in the container class now, and it's having its own default stuff. Okay. Now this is what I want to do now. I want to create 3 of these. I want to create 3 of these box. This is the box div, right? I want to create 3 of it. You just highlight from here to here, and you copy. Now let me tell you something. You can see that when I click on this box now, there's a white line that is showing the closing tag for this div of block. So that's how I'm able to copy this guy to know where I'm going to copy from. If your own is not doing like that, you can quickly go to this extensions icon and download a plugin or an extension called Prettier. pretter, you understand. Once you do that, and you go to the settings. Yeah, after installing, you just click on it and install. My own is already installed, so you install your once you have installed, you just go to your settings. You understand? Where is it? You go to your settings here, and you search for what's it called, format or whatever, format or whatever. You understand? Then you start for format, and then you make you go to this editor default formatter, then you select the pretter as your default formatter. Okay, so that's it. So let's go back to our code. We are on this guy. All right, I want to copy this guy now. So that's why once I highlight this guy now, he's able to give me the line that this is where it starts from, this is where it ends from. So this is where I'm going to copy. And once I highlight this, don't forget that this is the first div, which is the class div, and this is the closing tag of that class div. This is the class div here now. You understand? Or I'll just call it. Let me just call it. Okay, let me call this guy position box. Yeah, we're gonna use it later. Okay, all right, so let's do this guy now. So this is a position box, right? Inside this position box now, look at where it starts from, look at where it ends from, and that's where the line is showing. It is due to the pretter extension that I installed. That's why I'll be able to see the line that is here. So now inside this position box now, you understand, I also have another div. What's this guy? I also have another div with a class of what? Box. And I want this class to be 3. I want this box to be 3. I'll copy it and I'll paste it 3 times. Okay, 2, one more time, 3. So when I go back to this my page now, let's see how it looks like. Okay, and I refresh. Now can you see that those 3 boxes are now like this, right? But I don't want them to be like that. I want them to be side by side. All right, that's when the positioning comes in. Okay, I mean the alignment. You understand? We want to align this guy now. So let's see what's going to happen now. Let's go back to our page, our code editor. I don't know why this guy is slow like this or refreshing like this. I'm talking about this VS Code, but let's just get it done. All right, let's get into all. Better still, I minimize my browser. I think that will help me. All right, so now this is what I want to do now. This is the class of position. Okay, this is what I want to do now. For this class of box, you understand, let us give it a background color. You understand? I want to give it a background color. Let's start the box. Okay, let me start the box. Where's my CSS? I'll go to my style.css. I'll say for the class of box, you know how to select your class, right? By using the period symbol, right? I want to give it a width. Each of the box, I want to give it a width of what? Of 33.3%. You know why? I'm going to explain to you now. Okay, just leave that first. And I want to give it a background color of what? Of white. All right, let's see what's going to happen with this. Let's go back to our browser and refresh now. Can you now see that those boxes now, they have a width of 33.3% and this and that, right? Yeah, because by the time you divide, all the entire screen is 100%. By the time you give each of these box, you give them 33.3%. You understand? It means 30.3% times 3 will give us 100. All right. So that means I want them to be side by side. All right. So that's what I'm going to do now. Let's go back to this our code, and this is what we're going to do to that class of box. Because don't forget that if you go back to that page, the box, they are all in this position div, right? Position box div, right? But I want the box inside it to be side by side. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. Go to your style.css. In that box styling, you have already specified the width to be 30.3%, the background color to be white. What again can you do to it? Now let's set the float. This one we call float. You understand? It can either be left or right or inherit. Now let us use left. Let's see what we're going to have. If they have been floated to the left side, let's see what's going to happen. Yeah. Now can you now see now they have been floated to the left, so that's why they are now side by side. Now can you see? Now they are now I've been able to display 3 stuff. Okay, fine, let me even change the content now so that you know that they are different. This is the first if I copy for web design. I'll call this guy graphic design. Okay, graphic design. I'll call this guy what again? I'll call it apps. Just all right, let's save now, and you just go. Okay, right, we have this guy here, right? So now look at something now. What did I do to it? Just very simple. I created, oh, let me minimize. I don't know why my system is doing like this evening, but it's fine. I created a div which is having a class of position box. Then inside that div, I created 3 different divs, you understand, with a class of box. You understand? This is a div, this is another div with a class, but they having the same class. So once I now style it now, the styling is going to what? It's going to work for 3 of them. And I said that each of them should have each of the element that has what the class of box should have a width of 33.3% and a background color of what? White. But I want them to float left, like they should float to the left. That's side by side, okay? Now if this thing is, look at it, if I change this guy to 40 or let's say 35% for instance, now is it going to work? Let's go back. It can never work because you know, by the time I say each of them is 35%, it means 35 times 3 will never give you 100. So you can see it has already disorganized our page, okay? So that's how you have to know what you're doing, okay? It's going to be 33%. If you divide 100 by 3, it's 33%, okay? Fine, let's go back again and refresh. This is cool now. You know what to do to make this guy look nice. The what's it called? The padding and all those things, you understand? Because fine, the texts are even being close to each other and all those things. Now you can create a padding, you can create a margin if you want them to have a gap from each other. But look at what we're going to have now. Let's try to create a margin for them. Sorry, let's create a border first. A border. If I create a border now, look at what's going to happen. I'll create a border of 2 pixel solid. Don't forget you can have dotted. Let's use dotted this time around. D-O-T-T-E, because we talked about solid in the last class. What color? Let's give the color of red, for instance, and let's check it out. Of course, I'm expecting this. It's going to what? It's going to shift this guy back to the next line. Why? Because it is 33.3%. Now you are giving it a border. It's also occupying some space again around this, so it will not make them to be able to stay side by side again, because it's 100% for Christ's sake. Something is 100% and each of them is 33.3%. There's no space for this border that is beside them, but there's a way out. Okay, there's a way out. And let me go do something again. Let me now apply padding too. Let's put padding there. You see what's going to happen now. I want padding to be equals to 1 rem. I don't know if it's going to be too much. Let's save it and check it out. Can you now see there's now a space around those texts now? Are you there now? Let's go back. Without the padding, let's see what's going to happen without the padding. Look at those. Look at the text. They were just together. There's no space around the border and the text. You understand? But I told you that's what the padding does, right? It creates space inside the content, right? So by the time I apply my padding there now, you understand? I put a padding of 1 rem and I check it back. It's going to create space around the text. Can you now see that there's a space around the text, which is very nice? Okay, now we need to fix this guy. We want them to stay side by side, but what is actually happening is that what's it called, the padding, I mean the border is taking another extra space, and even the what's it called, the padding is making this guy to be a bit bigger. So that's why you know it's not going to stay in line. It's not going to float in the same direction. Okay, but this is what I'm going to do now to solve this guy. There's another declaration that I can make, which is what you say: box sizing. Yeah, am I correct? Box sizing. Yeah, sorry, box sizing. The box sizing should be what? A border box. Yeah, I think this is solved our problem. Right, let's go now. Bam. Can you now see now that it has already solved our problem, right? The box sizing was a border what? A border box. Okay. So these are all what you can play with, and by the time you combine all this stuff together now, in our next class we are going to build a very beautiful site, and these are what you can have a button here too. You understand? If I go inside this page now, in each of these boxes, after the paragraph, I can even put a box. I can even put a button here. I will say, I'll just put an A. Should I say A? Yeah, with a class of what? Do we have a button class before? Let's check other stuff. Do we have a styling for our button before? Let's see. Yeah, I think we did not have. Do we have this guy, the class of BTN or whatever? All right, we don't have actually. Oh yeah, we have a class of button here, and I believe we have already styled the class of button here. So let me just put the class of button on this link as well. So let me just say this is A, and I'll put this guy as what? As Learnmore, EARNMORE. But look at something now. By the time I refresh my page now, it will have a button there. Can you now see lemon, right? Look at what's happening now. It's even going outside the box now. And again, I want to make my button to be able to, I want to give some styling. Go back to this your what's it called, style or CSS. You already know we already have a what's it called, a style for a button before, which is class of button. You understand, this and that. So the only thing I need to do is that if I want this button to take the style of that class, I just have to specify the class here as an attribute, CLASS, and I'll give it the button, BUTTON. And when I save it now, it's going to take the style of that button. I told that the class can be used to style different stuff at the same time. You understand? Can you now see now he's having this guy now, right? So that's just it. Okay. Now another thing again I can do is that what, this is my A that is here, and I can start it as well. That I don't want this my A. Now let's quickly start our A now, because it's showing a line here. Can you now see it's showing a line here, and I don't want that. Okay. This is what I can do. I can just say all my A for now. All my A. Do we have any A here? Yeah. All the A that I have in my, I want to style all the A now. Let's go back here. But there's a way you can still do that. Or if you want to style that one specifically, you can do that. But for now, all my A, where's it? Yeah, I'll go back here now. That all my A, I'm going to the button. But you can specify it in another place. All my A, just write A here. I want them to have a text decoration of none. Text decoration of what? Of none. I don't want the text decoration there. Okay. So with that, it's going to remove the line that is showing. Okay. Can you now see that the line is not showing again now? That's how to do it. Okay, you can change the color of this guy. You know, the same way you do that, you can say color. I want the color to be equal to white. To be equal to what? White. FFF is white. Okay, you can. I told you how to get your color already. So let's do this now and save. Let's go back again. It's white. Can you now see that it's cool, right? Now I also want this guy to be on the other two box div. Okay, let's go back to it and just, you don't have to stress yourself. Just copy it and paste it there. All right. So I have the button here now. Where is it? Yeah, this is this guy after the paragraph. I'm just going to copy it. I'll paste it to this guy after the paragraph of the first one, and also go to the last one again after the paragraph. I'm going to paste it there. All right. By the time I save it and go back to this page now, you're gonna have it here, right? All right, this is cool, right? But there's one more important thing that you need to do, because if you don't do it, it's going to give you a problem. Okay, and that's what they call the clear fix. Okay, this is what you're going to do. You go back to your CSS, your HTML page. After this div, anytime you use what's it called, these alignment and the box sizing border box, you understand. Anything that comes after it, try to create another div after this guy. This is the position box. Okay, go outside this position box now. Go outside it and create something outside that div of position box. Create another div there, another div, and give it a class of clear CLEAR underscore fix. You can give any name. Okay, underscore fix. Okay, it's a div. Okay, just don't put anything inside. Okay, you might not notice the changes, right? But let's go to the CSS and style this guy. Clear underscore fix. Copy the style, the class name, and go to your CSS. Where's your CSS? And let's do something to that guy. You only need to do something. Go back here now and style it. You understand? Just say clear fix. Just say clear, CLEAR. Should be both. Okay, I want to clear both of them, right? That's just it. So with this, it's going to stop. You are not going to have any issue again. Okay, can you now see that it created a space after these words, after these block div? You understand? If you don't put that clear fix, it's going to merge everything together with this your footer. Okay, but using that clear fix now, it has created a space under these three boxes. Okay. And I think this is a very nice stuff, and you can put an icon here. You can do a lot of stuff with this guy, and that's that about the alignment. Let's talk about the position now, so that we'll cut this video very short. Let's talk about position. Okay, let's go back to our code and let's talk about position now. Okay, this is what we're going to do. Yeah, let's talk about position. Let's go to our page again. After this guy, let's just create another div. I'll create another div here. I'll call it what? Let's call this guy, yeah, position. I'll just call it position. Okay, anything you can call it anything. Okay, just call it anything. Okay, now inside this position now, I want to have what should I have there? Yeah, let me have some stuff there. I'm going to have let me have an h1 tag as well. You understand? I'll just say Microsoft. You understand? I also have another H1 element here, or let's have H2 here. H2. I'm not gonna say yeah, I am a programmer. Just so play with it, right? Okay. So let's go back here now and refresh. Bam. You understand? Can you see something now? Lecturer and programmer. Now this is what I want to do now. Go back to your code. I want to talk about positioning. Okay. Let's go back to our code. Under that, like, look at what I'm going to do now. This is a position, and we have a class of position. Sorry, my system is malfunctioning. Oh, something is coming up. Sorry. All right now. So now this is what I'm going to do now. The first I need to do is that this position class, you know, is one housing this H1 and what H2. That's the div that is containing them. Okay. Don't forget that the same way this guy, this position box, or I'm talking about the box. You understand that is housing these 3 boxes. So all the other things that are inside the 3 boxes, and as a matter of fact, if I now specify a container class to this guy, now another thing I want to tell you is that you can also specify 2 different classes on the same what's it called, class attribute, but just put the space, and I want to give it a container class again. Let's watch. It's also going to take the style of that container and also maintain the stuff. Let's go back here now. Can you now see? Can you now see now? It has, you know, because I style the container to be what 80%. This particular one, the one that has this guy. So if I put a class of container in that div that is housing these 3 boxes, it's also going to take the styling. You understand? The reason why you are not seeing the purple background is because these three boxes have already covered the whole stuff. You understand? And that's just is a very cool stuff. Okay. Can you now see that it's making sense, right? So whichever way you can style your stuff, and you know, you can make it better, and with this you can create something very nice. You understand? You can create something very nice. Can you now, we are already doing something cool, right? I thought we talked about over button in the last class. I hope you still remember. You can make an over effect here too. You understand? You can try that yourself, right? I'm not going to do that right now. All right, let's go back to the that class. Let's do something again. Yeah, this is the position now. This is what I want to do now. I want to style this position. Mind you, you can use any name for this class. Okay, I'll just go back to this my CSS file and go back to this guy. And let's talk about it now. I want to start the position. I'll select it. I've talked about this in the previous classes. And what I want to do is this now. I want to set the position to be what? Yeah, let's do something. Yeah, what should I do so that you can get what I'm saying better, right? I'll give the background color of what of blue, right? I think it's cool. Let's save it out. I just want us to notice some changes that we have made. Okay, this guy, right? Okay, so that's it, right? So if I go back here now and I want the position of this particular div. You understand? You can, don't forget, it's a class. I want the position to be relative. Okay, just watch. You might not notice any stuff here, but look at it. Nothing. I mean, the position of this one is relative. Why? I want it to be relative to the content inside of it. Okay. Now let's now go back now, and let's go back and do something now. Let us go back to this guy and go back to our page. We have H1, right? You know I can select this H1, right? Okay, now let's go. With the H1 that inside this particular position class, I can style it differently. I'll go back here. I'll say, okay, fine. I'll go back here. I'll say the class of position. I'll select it with the dots, or the period sign. The H1 that is inside of it. What again? That's all. Then I'll use my braces. Okay. I want the position of that H1. I want the position of this H1. First off, I can start this. Let's put the color of let's give it the color. Yes, we are there. I'll give it a position of what? Of red. Sorry, a color of red. Sorry. I'm trying to attend to someone. Okay, we're about to close our office now. All right. So I'll give it a position of what? Of red. I mean, the color of red rather for that H1, so that you can know that yes, it's actually affecting it. You go back here now. Can you now see the H1 inside the position what? Div. That's what I just did now. You have a lot of H1, but I'm only styling this guy. All right. So let's go back to it now, and now let's set the position of this one now. The position to be what? I want to set the position to be what? Absolute. You understand? If I set the position to be absolute, now let's see what's going to happen. The reason why I'm setting this one to absolute is because I have a relative position before, and I'm setting this guy to be what? Absolute. Now let's go back to this guy now. Let's save it. Don't forget, you always have to save so that I can see your changes. And if I save now, look at what's going to happen now. Initially, Microsoft was at the top before, but because I said it to be absolute, you can see something now. You can play around with it. Okay, this I'm talking about this H1 now, right? I can decide to set a padding left. Let's do a padding left now. I mean, sorry, margin left, right? I can make it to be, let's say, 400 pixel. Let's see. You can play around with it. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's go back now. Can you now see that it has moved to this guy? So this is going to be useful if you are building games. You can move your element and all those things. You can play around with it. Can you now see now? So that's it. All right. So the same way you can also style your H2, right? Now let's do something. Okay, let's do something. Let's create another stuff here inside that same guy. Okay. Let's go back to my blog, the simple blog.html, and let's do something. Okay. Yeah, let me tell you something now. This absolute position goes in line with what? With the relative position. You understand? Because this guy this position now is relative to what is here now. You understand? It's working based on this guy. But let's create another one more div again. I'll call it a div. You understand? I'll call it I'll give it a class of what? Of button. Okay, I told you. I can also give another class again. Because this one I'm giving a class of button. Oh, fine. Don't let me do that. Let's give it another class, please. Let's give it the class of fixed position. Okay, just to tell you, you can use underscore, you can use hyphen, position, a class of fixed position. Then I want something inside this guy. I want the button inside. Okay, you can just say button. All right. Now this is the button. I want the button to be buy now. Okay, just get what I'm saying now. Buy now. Right. So now let's check it out. You see what's going to happen now. I have another button which is buy now, right? Now you can see once I scroll, you'll not see the button again, right? But look at what I want to do just now. Go back to this guy. Inside this button, I want to give it a class because I've already styled a class for button. You understand? Class is equals to button, button. So it should take the styling of that button that I specified earlier. You understand? So that's it, right? Which is the same as this guy, right? You can change the text inside or wherever. I can change the color. Okay, so that's it, right? Now there's what I want to do to this guy. This is a div that is housing this button, the buy now button. But I want to set the position to be what? To be fixed. You go back to this guy and call this class. You understand? This is just a name. You can give it any name. Don't forget all this position. You can give it a name. This clef you can give it a name. It's the name of the class. But the most important thing is just what? To call them and give them the appropriate stuff. Now you go back here. I want to start this fixed position now. This is a fixed position, right? I want to make the position to be what? Position to be what? To be fixed. Okay, fixed. Can you see now? Now once I save this guy now and I go back to my page and I refresh, let's guess what's going to happen. Can you tell me something? Yeah, where's my button? Hey, I'm not seeing anything, right? Where is it? Oh, this is crazy. I'm not seeing this guy, right? But he's there. Why am I not seeing it? Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Yeah, it's somewhere here. I'm seeing it. Maybe it's hidden under the footer. You understand? But I know it's there. Okay. But let's stop that out, right? Let's go back and give it a. Let's give it a top. That's margin top. I want the top to be equals to 400 pixels from top. Okay. I hope we see it now, right? Let's go back here. Yeah, can you now see? I give the margin from here now from top. It's 400. But look at something because the position is fixed. Whenever you scroll this page, the button is always there. It's always there. 400 meters. I don't know if you have been to a website where you see a button that always follow you everywhere you go, like a buy now button, all those stuff. You understand? The button is always there. It's always follow you everywhere you go. For example, sometimes you can have a button here that will make you to scroll to the top, all those kind of stuff. So you can make the position of the button to be fixed. It's fixed now, so it is everywhere you go. You understand? So that's how to do that. That's positioning. Okay. All this thing is very simple, and at least if you can do all these things, then you are good to go. By the time you know it now, in our next project now, we start building something cool. We start building a real website, and after that again, we are going to build a professional website, and you can have your own website as well. Okay, don't worry. And I told you that this class is just for beginners, and what we are still doing so far is still for beginners. You understand? I just want to teach you from scratch until you become a professional. Okay. All right. Just stick to this channel. If you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so by subscribing so that you can get my other videos and you always get updated when I post a new video. And we are going to learn a lot, and I'm going to be covering from front end to back end development. Okay, so just stay tuned and make sure you subscribe. And if you haven't clicked on the bell icon, it's very important to do that as well, so that you always get notified when I post a new video. All right, and another thing is that once you click on the subscribe button, you are making me happy, and that's a way of encouraging me to do more. All right, so just try to do your own part. Okay, thank you. All right, let's go back to our class. I think we are done about that positioning, and you know, that's it, right? You want to start a button, you know, you can still make the color to be, because it's also the button is also contained in that class. You can make it white. You can play around with it. Okay. All right, let's go back and check our page now. Yeah, what's wrong? Yeah, you know why? Yeah, I get it. Let's just leave it right at, okay. Where's our button? Do we have anything about the button? What we should have done is that this is our button styling. We should have made the color to be white, so that any button, any stuff we apply that class to is going to take a color of white. That's depending on what you are doing actually. But if you have a button that you want to give a different color or whatever, you can give it another class name. Okay. So this is going to take a white color now, right? For all our buttons, it's going to be white. Okay. Can you now see now? So that's right. And the button is following us everywhere we go. Now I'll talk about another last thing before we end this class, which is what they call the pseudo classes. And I've told you that I'm not going to be giving you theory in this class. It's meant for practical. If you want to learn online, go and check theories. There are a lot of materials. I can even give you some if you want. But this is what I want to do now. Let's talk about the pseudo classes. All right, let's do something now. Go back to that page and let us create a UL. That's an ordered link. Okay. I'll say UL. Inside this UL, I want LI. I'm giving you a shortcut on how to create something. Instead of you copying and paste, just say UL. I want UL. I want LI. How many of LI do I want? I want LI like maybe like 10. Is 10 okay? No, let's do 6. Okay. All right, times 6. So it's going to create LI in 6 places for me. I've talked about this guy. Hey, what's this guy? This guy does not work for me. All right, but it's still fine. I'll just create a UL. Yeah. The opening tag, then the closing tag again. I'm going to paste it here. You understand? All the LI will be there. Right. I'm just going to write. What should I write here now? Let's write 1. You understand? I'm just playing with it. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I think this is going to be faster. 4, 5, and what? And 6. Okay. Yeah, you can write anything. I don't want to use this number. Let's use another thing. 2. You can do anything you want. You understand? I know what I'm doing. Okay. THREE. Then FOUR 4. FIVE 5. Then XIX 6. All right. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. I've already talked about this guy before. If you didn't get it, check my first video of this course. You understand the part 1. I think part 1 or part 2. We talk about this list, and we are going to be talking about it a lot. In our next video, we are going to be using it to build a nav or whatever. So let's go back here now. Can you now see that we have this list? But okay, can you now see the list now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Now I'll talk about pseudo classes. How you can the pseudo selector. You understand how you can select something with a pseudo class? Okay, let's go back here. This is what I'm going to do now. Let's give it a class. Should we give it a class? The UL. Let's give it a class. Let's give it a class. Okay. Let's give it a class of what should I call it? I'll give it a class of list. You understand? I'll give it a class of list. Okay. Now this is what I want to do now. The UL is having a class of list now. Let's check it out. Copy that class name. Don't forget. You go back to you save it. Make sure you are not highlighting this and you save it so that you're going to see your changes. Go back to your CSS, style of CSS, and let's do something now. I'll say, okay, the class of list, okay? Yeah, I want to do a pseudo class. Now, the class of list, but the LI inside of it. You know, we have many LI, but the LI inside this class of list. You know, this list is serving as a div for them, this UL. And it is all those LI that we have is being contained inside this UL div between the opening and the closing tag. Can you see now? So, but I'm saying now, okay, I want to style the word, the LI. That is inside the div that has a class of list. That's what I did here now. Then you go back to this guy. That's what I did. Then look at what I want to do now. I'm talking about pseudo classes now. Then you do something now. You put a column there. Column. Yeah, I'm doing a pseudo class, right? Just say first child. first hyphen child. Can you see now? That's how to do a pseudo class. Let's go. The first child I want to style. I want to give it the color of what? Of red. Should we do that? Red. Yeah, let's go back. I'm starting the first child on that list. Go back. Can you now see this having a color of red? Wow, that's cool, right? My button is still there, right? Now, let us do something again. Let us style the last child. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna go back here. I'll just copy this guy. I'll just copy, right? Then I'll come back here again. I'll say I want to start the last child. All right. Then I'll go back here now. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's give it red. It's still red, right? The last child. But this is what I want to do now. I want to give it the color of let's give it the color of blue. Yeah, so that it's gonna be different. That the last child. Okay. That's a pseudo class. Don't mind me if I'm a bit fast in this class. I just want to cover this thing on time. All right, this can you see now? How do I do that? Go back to your CSS. I just say okay, the list, the li inside the class of list, inside the div that has the class of list, then column last child. Give me this guy. You understand? That's how to select. All right. Now let's run that one again. Let's still go back again. I'll just copy this guy. I'll come back here again. I'm still styling. Now this time around, I want to style. I'm not going to start the last child or the first child. I want to start something in between. Let's say I want to start the second child. I want to start the second item in that list. I'll just say end stem, nth, the nth child. Yes, nth child rather, nth child. You know, arithmetic progression in mathematics. You know when you have the nth stem and the last stem and the second, all those things, right? Nth child. What's the nth child? N can be 2 now. You know that stuff in arithmetic progression in mathematics. So nth child 2. You understand? That's the second, right? I want this guy to be what? Green. Let's see. I want the color to be green. You can give the background color, you can give it anything you want. I'm just playing around it. Alright, can you now see now? The same way you can say nth child 4. You can, decide to do cool stuff with it, and that's how to do it. I believe you get what I'm doing, right? Can you now see now 4? So I'm going to be ending this class now, and I believe you've learned something today. Let us quickly recap what we did so that we can ensure that we get what we did very well. In the beginning of this video, I talked about something. We created a div, you understand, and initially we removed this class of container. It was not there before, you understand. This is it, right? Then this is what we have, you understand. It was like this, right? Then when we now place the class of container inside this div, it's started like this, okay? Just because I already said the class before that, okay, yes, for any class that has a container class, where is it? Let's check it out. Yeah, that the width should be 80% and the margin should be auto. And this is what we did in our last class, in our previous class before this video, this chapter, now of this course, you understand? So if you don't understand this, go back to that video. Please don't miss any part of the video. Now, what again do we do today? Now, we now create inside this, and we assign 2 classes to this div. The first one was position box and the second was container. So I can assign another class again to also take, if maybe I want something that yes, I've already specified before in another class, I can still call that class here and it's going to apply to that. So you can see I'm applying 2 classes here now, but I'm giving a space between them. They are still inside one class attribute, but the first class here, space, the second class, you don't have to write class 2 times again. Alright, and all is going to be in just this in between the column, the double quotes, rather. Double quotation, right? Inside this class, this position box class, the div here, I have 3 boxes. The first box, can you see now, with the class of box? I have the second one again with the class of box. This way it ended, right? And I have another last one again, which is this, right? Then I have the same class for them, right? Then I go to my CSS and I said, anyone that has the class of box, so this is what I want you to do. I want the width of each of them to be 33%. I want the background color to be white. And I want you to float left. Let me now do something. You can also float right. Let's do something now. Let's float right. You can do a lot of stuff with this guy. You understand? Just play with it. Now let's save now this time around. It was float left before, but let's float right now. Can you now see? You understand? So, you know what happened? This guy, apps was there before. You understand what I'm trying to say now? Now it has already floated to the right now. What was there that has moved to the right, and what was at the right before has moved to the left. Okay. It's floated right. But if I use floated left again, it is going to go back to normal we arrange it, right? But if I want it to float right, that is to say the last one should come this way, you understand? It's going to flow that way, right? So that's just it, right? So let's go back and make it back to left. All right, that's what we did, and we're able to apply a border there. But when we apply a border there, it alters our stuff. Like when I remove this guy, let's remove this guy, this border box sizing. That was what actually helped us out. You understand? We click on this guy. You see now, because why? Because we put a border there, it's not taking the float again because it's more than 30% now, because each of them is now more than 30, because the border is taking another space. But what actually solved it out for us is what we applied a declaration, which is what the box sizing, and we set it to what border box. You understand? That is to say everything should be contained that 30% that we have set to, including the border as well to the box. Okay, so that's why it was able to solve it for us. And we also apply a padding. You can, if you want to space it, for example, if you go back and save now, you can see this box, they are close to each other. I might decide to create a space around them. Okay, I can set a margin generally for them. I'll just set a margin for this box. That okay, I have a margin of let's say 1 rem. You understand? Because I've already put the border box there, it's not going to affect it. Okay, it's just going to make everything nice. Okay, hey, wow, that's cool. Can you see now? Since that 1 rem is too much, right? I can make it. It depends on what you want to do. But the case is that let's make this 0.3 rem for instance. But the thing you can do is that if you want to do this stuff, you understand, you can decide to reduce the percentage of this guy. If I reduce this guy to 30% or 32, it's going to leave a space for me calculation, right? You understand? And it's going to make that guy to stay by their side again, right? Can you now see now that I have a space? Each of them is 32, and the remaining space is for the margin that I set. I can have a space between my boxes now, right? So can you see that the space, there is a margin there between the box and the other, right? And I think this is cool as well. You have seen so many web pages and you have seen this kind of stuff there. You understand? So what again do we need to do? I'm just trying to recall what we did. After setting this clear box sizing border box, we created another div again, because initially, okay, let's go back. This was the div we created. No, let's go back here, and let's go back here. Where is it? Yeah, this clear fix. If I remove this class of clear fix and I remove it out, let's see what's going to happen. And I save it, right? You see what's going to happen? Can you now see those boxes has been, it enters the next div, you understand? Because why? It's, the what's it called, the padding and the whatever is still affecting these boxes and the position and everything. What's it called, the float is affecting this guy. It's still affecting the next div after it. This is why that they are not even inside the same div, you understand? But what I actually used to solve is that I created another div outside it, which is an empty div here. You understand? And I said I give it a class of clear fix, and I not put anything there. You understand? It's just a normal empty div. But what I did just to solve this is that I created a class clear fix, and I go back to my CSS and style it. That okay, the clear fix, the class I selected the class I put in that empty div, you understand? And I say okay, and I use this attribute, this declaration rather, this CSS declaration. I say clear boot, you understand? And it was able to clear everything for me, all the space around it and all those things, and it was able to fix my project for me. And we also talk about the position and wherever. I think that you can just watch the video again, and you should be clear with that. We talk about the fixed position and all those things. So please, I'm going to be wrapping up this class now. I'm going to be ending this class now. In my next video, we are going to be building a beautiful website. Okay, you've learned a lot, and just let me have your comments in this comment section. And please, if you know you like this video, and you can as well give me a thumbs up. You can share this video, and please try to click on the subscribe button. It's free, and so that it can encourage me to do more videos, because I said I'm going to teach you a lot. All right, see you in the next class. Thank you, and stay tuned. Bye.